Ahead of more great music, the weather for the Golden West. On Wednesday, a ridge of high pressure will approach from the west, and the cool southerly flow over the district will moderate. Current temperature in St David's is 13
Ladies and gentlemen,
degrees.
you will not believe the
And now, back
specials
to
we
the
have on
break-ins
offer
of
at
yesterday's
Burgess
day
Garden
and
Gifts for
tomorrow.
you today. Brought to you by my father, Ned Burgess, the biggest bastard in Mount Thomas. Yeah, you know him as good old Ned. Really, he's a low-life scumbag.
Dean!
Oh, he's the blind, deaf and dumb one that puts up.
Hey, inside.
Mrs. Burgess, can we help? No thanks, Dash. Dash, this isn't really any of our business. We'll just keep going. That kid's a spoiled little brat. You know him? Oh, yeah, friends of Mum's from way back. Whenever they came over, I had to look after him. He's an only child, was a pain in the bum.
I think I recognise him from somewhere.
Yeah, we cautioned him for assault a few months back. We'll just move these people out of the way, I think. Excuse me, do you not want to just move back?
Man,
Thank you, there's nothing really going on. We're just stand over there. All right, Mrs. Burgess. Mrs. Burgess, open up, it's the police.
Dean, come here. I hate you. Ah! Dean! Ah!
We need an ambulance at 171 King Country Road. Burgess's garden and gift shop.
Ned, let him go.
Sit
Sit
down.
to the
They
arms.
can't leave. Just bleeding. We'll be in contact
Hurry.
with details, please. What's wrong? Sit down and breathe. Steve, what's wrong? What's wrong with him?
Oh, he's asthma, but he'll be okay.
All right, no, you just try and take it easy.
I'll get his
Relax.
puffer. Ah.
Relax for me, okay?
Oh.
Try and breathe.
Mr. Burgess lost a lot of blood, but otherwise he's fine, and we've got Dean's breathing under control. He had a very severe asthma attack.
Mr. Burgess looked like he was choking Dean.
Yeah, in self-defence.
Is it possible that that could have caused the attack?
The emotional stress of it may be, but there's no indication that any external force cut off his air supply.
And you can be sure of that?
I see what you're getting at, Senior Constable. But look, I treat Dean regularly for his asthma, and there's nothing unusual here.
Sorry.
It's okay, Casey. Work experience. You can see Mr. Burgess now. He'll be out in a second. Give Dean another hour.
Thanks. Shall we see if Ned wants to press charges?
Of course I don't. He's my son.
Well, so he's already been cautioned for assault and now he's using a weapon. I can't let that go.
Unless you can help us figure out what's going on with him.
Don't all teenagers hate their parents?
Oh, not to the point of stabbing them.
He didn't mean it. He's just angry, that's all.
You know why?
You know him, Dash. He's spoiled. It's our fault, so we'll sort it out. Just don't charge him, okay?
We're going to have to speak to him first, sir.
Do you want these?
Oh, the two most attractive members of the local constabulary.
Social worker already. That was quick.
Yeah, I was assigned a few months ago.
What are you doing here now?
I was already here when they brought him in, just checking on a friend.
We need to interview Dean if he's ready.
Yeah, fine. I can be your independent third person.
Where's his mum?
Well, I suggested she stay, but she said she had to go to work. Nice priorities, eh?
Well, maybe he'll talk more openly without his parents here.
Not too long?
Sure. And Dean, how you feeling?
I've been here before.
Well, some good news. Your dad's chosen not to make a complaint.
He's a hero, isn't he?
But we're going to have to hear your side of the story before we decide whether we're going to charge you or not.
That'd be right. He's a bastard and I get in trouble.
Not if you had a good reason.
You just tell them the truth, mate. Remember what we spoke about?
So why did you stab your father, Dean?
If I tell you Tim reckons you kicked Dad out, is that true?
Not exactly what happens. Depends on the circumstances. You just tell us your side of the story.
I stabbed him because I can't live with it anymore.
Live with what?
Him belting me up.
Right, so you're saying that your dad assaulted you on occasions prior to today?
Yeah. He hits me every single chance he gets.
I don't think Ned's the sort to bash his kid.
Well, you never been surprised before?
And why didn't you bring this to our attention earlier?
I didn't know myself for sure until you heard it.
Dean said, if I tell you Tim reckons that you'll kick Dad out, which of course we can't do. It sounds to me like you've talked.
No, all I said to him was that if his dad was hitting him, he'd be better off out of there.
I hope you also told him we'd need proof of assault before we could take any action.
Oh, look, this whole situation stinks, Tom. You know, and that daft notion that some of the people I work with seem to swear by, you know, that it's best for the kid to be with the family even though it's going to get bashed again, it's crap. Now, this child should be got as far away from those sadists as possible.
If Dean never actually came out and told you, how do you know?
It's just a feeling.
We can't
No,
operate...
look, I started counselling this kid a couple of months ago, all right, after you cautioned him over his fighting. Now, I could pick straight away that this kid is a victim of abuse. And this little outburst is the first sign that he's actually trying to do something about it. You see, this is the reason that kids don't speak up. They're afraid that no one's going to believe them.
Have you ever seen any evidence
Well,
of assault?
No, I haven't. But Ned had hit him in the torso where the marks could be covered up under the clothing.
Yasmin's never seen a thing and she checks him every other week.
You know damn well we need proof.
And if his social worker and his doctor can't back him up, who can?
Look, I could count the number of times on one hand Ned and Dean have been alone together. It's not happening.
Then why does he say it is?
Oh, you know him, Dash. I love him, but he can be a trial at times. You copped enough of his tantrums when he was a kid.
Yeah, but nothing like this.
It's that social worker. He's brought out the worst in Dean.
Well, he had problems before he went to see Tim Ryan.
There is a lot of tension here. And Dean reckons that's my fault.
Well, what's the cause of all the tension?
Sometimes, oh, you know what it's like. Any married couple, I guess. We fight, Dean steps in. It's not ideal.
So were you suggesting that he made all of this up just to get attention? Look, I've known you and Mr. Burgess and Dean for as long as I can remember, but this stuff with Dean is not making any sense. Look, I have to ask you this. Is everything all right between you and Ned?
Even happily married couples have their moments. Even Beth.
Yeah, Charlie said that Mum and Dad had the odd stoush.
Men expect life to be rosy all the time. That's Dean's problem. He wants more attention than we can give.
This is a little more serious than just attention getting.
Leave it to us. We'll bring Dean home and sort through it.
It's not as simple as that.
You're not going to pursue it.
Dean has made a complaint and we have to look into it. Well, the basketball coach hasn't seen a bruise that wasn't caused by a game. The teachers all agree that Dean's got problems.
What'd they say?
That he's been wagging, he's fighting, giving cheek, and his grades are slipping.
Well, their family GP has seen no evidence of physical abuse. I mean, Jack might come up with something, but everyone I spoke to reckons that Ned's a great bloke and he wouldn't hurt a fly.
Well, that's how I've always pictured him, but there's something not right.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
Something we can do for you, Mr. Ryan?
Yeah, I'm just checking where you're up to with young Dean.
Well, nowhere. It's looking more and more like a cock and bull story every minute.
Now, even though Rachel and I never fought in front of the kids, they still felt the tension. If it's in Dean's face every single day, of course it's going to get to him. Maybe that's why he's claiming the bashing.
No, he's claiming the bashings because there are bashings. I mean, does it really matter why? Look, this is a vicious circle. We just got to get that kid out of there.
Ah, Tim, still spreading your nihilistic parents are always to blame.
But when the family unit is the caring and nurturing environment that it's supposed to be, yes, I'll honour it. But I'm not prepared to leave these kids at the mercy of the system.
And getting in the way of other members of the department, that's how you honour it?
If it's in the best interest of the kid, yes.
I'm sorry, you are...
Sheila Needham, Human Services. The school asked me to liaise with you in the matter of Dean Burgess.
And the school has proof?
They are obliged to report a suspicion and have done so.
Only after my members made inquiries.
Oh, that's irrelevant.
Not to me, it's not. There is no evidence of abuse, so there's nothing to liaise on, Miss Needham.
I see.
In the meantime, we'll continue our investigations and keep you posted.
Nice to see somebody leave her speechless for a change, Sergeant.
I don't think we need to keep you any longer either, Mr. Ryan.
Oh, fine. Well, I'll be ready when you call me to come and pick up the pieces, eh?
Gets around a bit, your Mr. Ryan. Isn't that my Mr. Ryan, Maggie?
We mean it. Maybe a lawyer or the police.
You've got exactly what you wanted, haven't you? If you mean the truth, I don't think we have.
Settle down.
He's turned Dean against me.
Can we take him home now?
We want to speak to him first alone.
Yeah, good.
I think it'd be better if Dr. Farris sat in, if that's all right with you.
Of course.
Mr. and Mrs. Burgess, do you want to wait up there on the right? Thank you. Hi, Dean. I just came by to tell you that we won't be charging you for the stabbing incident.
Very big of you.
As for the bashing, it's not that we don't believe you, it's just that we can't find anyone to corroborate story. But you don't have to go home, Dean. We can find you somewhere else to stay.
No, thanks.
Well, it doesn't have to be like that, and if you're worried for your safety...
I'm not, all right? I made it up.
But your father doesn't hit you at all?
No, I just wanted to make him squirm.
Then are you backing off because you're worried that he's going to pay out on you?
You don't believe he is hitting me, then you don't believe he isn't. Why say anything? Where are the odds?
What are you up to, McKinley?
Oh, yeah, it's not personal business. I was thinking that maybe there's something in Ned and Lorraine's past that we don't know about.
There's no crime to investigate now, so any use of the computer in this matter would be inappropriate, wouldn't it?
Well, but not if it helps make sense of what's going on.
Doyle, would you advise her as a friend that any information on this system is confidential for police use only?
Yeah, but all I was trying to
do your job.
If we can't use the system to do something right, what's the point?
Yeah, well, it's a hard call, and I think he's trying to protect you.
He's got a funny
Mount Thomas Police, Constable Lawson speaking. Yeah, just get it. Hang on. Dash, it's for you.
Jack. Constable McKinley's... Stella. Really? Yeah, how bad? Right, thanks for the call, Stella.
Who was that?
Friend of Mum's. She lives next door to the Burgesses, and she reckons they were fighting for half the night and they'd even got violent. It's just two-faced. It's okay for him to bend the rules when it suits him, but I'm not to try and help a family who just happen to be friends.
Well, I suppose it's all about knowing where the line is.
But I'm starting to see why Tim Ryan thinks the system's so stuffed.
So do you still think that these two are the perfect couple?
I never said they were, Maggie.
Hello? Hello? Hey, aren't you two out and about early?
Just a courtesy call.
Can we speak to Dean, please?
He packed a bag and took off about midnight. We went to bed around then.
So you didn't call the police or go after him?
He'll be at a friend's house. He's done it before. I only stayed home in case he came home before school.
Is that where your husband is now, checking with these friends of Dean's?
No, I think he's at the shop.
Right, so your son goes missing and it's back to business as usual.
Look, I admit we had words. It got emotional. It wasn't violent. It never has been. Dean lied about his father, and we tried to sort it out.
Any luck?
Obviously not. Dean can't accept the way things are.
Okay, well, we'll start looking for him.
Don't get into too much trouble, he won't be far.
Mrs. Burgess, your son's a minor. I think somebody should start looking for him, don't you? Thank you. Mount Thomas 308, out. Dean's not at his mates, he's not at school, Ned's not at the shop. What about him? Did he confirm what Stella said?
Yeah, he said there was a screaming match, lots of banging and thumping.
Like a fight?
We can't be positive, but he said he saw Dean run off with a backpack about 20 minutes later and he seemed intact.
Yeah.
But Ned and Lorraine kept arguing, and then he saw Ned drive off about 20 minutes later.
Here he comes now. That's him, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and he's turning. Hey! Mr. Burgess! Mr. Burgess! Stop the car! Are you trying to avoid us, sir?
No, I didn't even see you. I just forgot the milk.
All right, well, you mind stepping out of the car and I'll park it for you?
Right. You hear about Dean?
Oh, yeah, you could say that.
Have you found him? Is he okay?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us?
All right, so there was an argument, the whole thing blew up and Dean took off. Yeah?
Lorraine blamed me for all the troubles. If I was a better father, Dean wouldn't make up stories. She threw me out.
Well, and then you came across Dean?
Yeah, he was walking along Penhope Road. I threw him in the car, but first give way sign I stopped at, he jumped out.
Did you chase him?
I couldn't. A couple of my stitches had bust. It was killing me.
So that's how you got the blood on the shirt?
Your arm looks okay now.
I went home and redressed it.
What time was this?
I don't know, about an hour after I left. Then I went out again, looking for Dean.
Ned, why would you take the blood-stained shirt with you?
I intended to throw it away.
Right.
Hey, it's like I'm telling it. I haven't done anything to him.
Between you, your wife, and your neighbour, we have 3 different stories here. Plus your son is missing, and we have a blood-stained shirt. I just hope we're not talking murder here.
Mrs. Burgess, you told us that you and your husband went to bed after Dean left the house.
Well, you were all taking it so seriously, I just wanted to pull it back into perspective.
Lorraine, will you please tell us the truth?
Did your husband come home at all last night?
I don't know. I was asleep. No. But he wouldn't have hurt Dean. You're wrong about that.
Lorraine, we're just trying to find your son. Can you help us out?
Have you really looked everywhere for him?
Well, we're still out there and he's not at the school and none of his friends have seen him.
Well, he usually goes to a friend's.
No, not this time.
Well, then what's happened to him? Where is he?
Mrs. Burgess, that's exactly what we're trying to find out.
Yeah, we believe
All we
Dean
know
Burgess
for
is
sure
in
is the
Carlton
family
branch.
argued and that Dean and then Mr.
Yeah, has
Burgess
he-
left the house. Mr. Burgess caught up with him and after that it's anyone's guess.
So Mr. Burgess doesn't have an alibi for the rest of the night?
Not until this morning, and then he came home with Dean's backpack and the bloody shirt in his car.
It could have been his own blood.
Oh, Dr. Farrow checked him out and the stitches were damaged and he had a new dressing room.
How long before we get a blood type from the shirt?
Forensics on it.
There's nothing from the bank, boss. He hasn't taken any money out this morning.
All right, you better link up with Stuart and start door knocking. Talk to shopkeepers. Have we been in touch with Ryan?
He's on his way in.
You better get in touch with that Needham woman as well.
Yep. We shouldn't have sent Dean home.
There was no evidence against Ned and Dean had withdrawn the complaint. What were we supposed to do?
I don't know, something.
Any word yet?
Ah, I'm hoping you can help us on that score, Tim. Come on through. Tim, you don't seem very upset by his disappearance.
Well, look, to be honest, PJ, I got mixed reactions about this one. All right, now, on the one hand, I'm worried about where this kid's got to, but on the other hand, I'm just glad he's out of there. See, his old man beats him. The system couldn't help him, so he's had to help himself. I say good on him.
Oh, well, see, this is where I get a bit confused, Tim. Now, when did you last speak to Dean?
Yesterday, at the hospital.
Right, so you wouldn't be aware that he withdrew the allegations against his father. He left with his family of his own free will. There was an argument, and then Dean disappeared.
Well, you think he might have come to some sort of harm?
At this stage, we don't know what to think.
Look, he's frightened of his old man. You know, now, you guys couldn't help him, so perhaps he's just taken off.
See, we don't have a shred of evidence to support your theory. Now, as far as we're concerned, Ned Burgess appears to
Oh, no,
be...
hang on, PJ. Come on, you're not that naive. I mean, you know as well as I do, bashers come in all shapes and sizes. Of course Ned Burgess is capable of it. Now, I don't really know where Dean is, so I don't think I'm being much help to you.
So you haven't seen him since yesterday at the hospital?
No. But if I do hear from him, then I'll let you know. And just give us a yell if there's anything else I can do. Yeah?
I'm not suggesting that he's withholding information. It's just that Tim is on Dean's side, not ours. And if the kid doesn't want to be found, then maybe Tim won't let us find him. I don't think he'd do that, Maggie.
Mount Thomas Station to Mount Thomas 308.
Go ahead, PJ.
How close are you to Vic Bank and Crimea Street?
About 30 seconds.
Well, someone's there trying to use Dean Burgess's key card.
On our way.
Will you two come back? That's them! Get them!
Hey, stop!
No, it's all right. I know who she is. Come on. Yeah, it was the girl who was doing work experience there, you know, with the trolley. That was forensic. It was definitely Ned's own blood on the shirt, and there were no other blood types present.
Thank God for that.
Well, we've still got a dodgy story and a missing teenager. I mean, this kid could be injured.
He could be dead.
I don't think I want to countenance that
Well, we
option.
can't discount it.
I'm well aware of that. Of course we have to
Thank you.
consider it. It doesn't mean I have to like it, does it?
I got the address. The girl's name is Casey Sharp, and her brother also does work experience at the hospital.
All right, so we should get on to community policing in St David and see if there's a case file.
I'm more interested to know what the Sharp kids have got to do with Dean Burgess's disappearance and how they got hold of his key card.
What do you want?
Mr. Sharp,
No, but yeah, whatever.
we're here to talk to your kids, Casey and Brett.
They're not my kids. Talk to her.
So, are Casey and Brett around anywhere?
What have they done now?
We just need to talk to them.
Well, they're not here.
Are you expecting them back soon?
Dunno.
Where are they then?
I'm not sure.
They haven't been here for a while, have they?
What do you mean?
I'll check their room, shall I?
Oh, look, they took off
When was that?
about 6 months ago.
Did you report them missing?
Can't remember.
Is Human Services looking after them?
Dunno.
Don't care.
I bet their welfare checks still come in handy though, eh?
Cleaners, get your ass out here.
They could have stayed. All they had to do was get along with Scott, but now they had to get him aggro every time.
What about this little fella? Does he have the same effect?
I know what you're up to where you can forget it. The social worker reckons Scott is a top father to Dickie.
Who's your social worker?
Tim Ryan. You just ask him.
Yes, we will. Thanks, we'll be back in touch.
What did friggin' do?
Look, in my report, I didn't say that Scott was a good father, just that the child wasn't in any physical danger.
Unlike Casey and Brett.
Oh, no, Declan's his own kid. The other two just get under his skin. Look, I first started seeing them at St David's. They kept coming to school every day with fresh bruises.
So why isn't he in jail?
Because they wouldn't dob him in. Said they were getting into fights at school.
Why?
I suppose they're scared of getting him really angry. I mean, we're talking Neanderthal here, Tom, and he's capable of doing anything.
So how come we haven't heard a peep out of this family?
Well, I've only lived in your jurisdiction for a couple of months. Since then, things seem to have settled down a bit.
Because Casey and Brett weren't at home getting him aggro.
Yeah, I suppose. Look, I'd see him at school and they'd be fine, and then at the house, Glenys wouldn't mention it. I don't know, maybe she didn't want to get her pension cut.
Have you got any idea where they are now?
And what do you want them for?
They were trying to use Dean's keycard.
How do you think they got it?
We're not sure, but it does implicate them in Dean's disappearance.
Unless they stole it from him at the hospital.
Oh, no. No, you'd be wasting your time looking for these kids. They're not little criminals.
I reckon Tim Ryan knows a lot more about what's going on than he's saying. Might pay to check out his place and see if Dean's there.
I don't think we get a warrant, though, would we?
Well, if he's got nothing to hide, he won't mind.
Hey, Timbo. Heard from Dean?
No, I said I'd ring you. Have you?
No.
Well, he'll turn up when he wants to. Huh?
I got to say, I'm really impressed. I mean, I thought you'd be more frantic, that's all.
Oh, look, mate, you know, your people see mangled bodies all the time, and I think if I saw one of those, I'd lose it completely. But in my job, if I fell in a screaming heap every time I lost one of my kids, I'd be no use to anyone, would I?
But he could be hurt. I mean, you were the one who was pushing the bashing routine.
Yeah.
You don't think he's in danger?
No, I don't. Look, the danger was when he was living with the old man, and he's cleared out of there. Look, all I want is what's best for this kid, OK? And I honestly think he's the best judge of that.
Well, you don't care how he is, where he is?
Yeah, of course I do. But he's disappeared, hasn't he? And you can't find him. I certainly can't. PJ, I don't know what you want from me.
All right, listen, we might take a squiz around your house, just in case he's there without your knowledge.
Yeah, fine, mate. Go crazy. Excuse the mess. I'll collect those later.
Bye-bye. Got someone damaging property.
Received that. It's right round the corner.
Apparently he's spraying graffiti on the outside of the house.
No worries.
Call us if you need backup.
Dean Burgess! Stop!
Mount Thomas Station to Mount Thomas 508. Got info on the homeowner, Kerry Illiard. Lives alone. Her boss says she went away this morning on business.
Well, any idea why Dean's got it in for her?
Not so far. Ned and Lorraine are on their way into the station.
All right, we'll meet them there. 508 out. PJ, you drop this near where you let the fire? Good. He's going to need that replaced. OK, get onto the chemist. Tell him to keep a lookout, all right? Rightio.
I found the connection between Dean and his house. The woman who lives here has an overnight visitor every couple of nights, including last night, and his car matches the description of Ned Burgess's.
Well, Ned, you had an alibi last night. Why didn't you use it?
I wanted to keep the affair private.
You'd rather be known as a murder suspect than an adulterer?
You must be really scared of your wife.
Well, she knows about it. Look, the marriage was rocky. I still loved her, but she was just so distant. I suppose I started the affair to get some sort of reaction out of her. Jealousy, whatever. But nothing. She just told me to keep it quiet.
Why didn't she kick you out?
Pride, I guess, or wanted to protect Dean.
So Dean obviously knew about the affair.
Why didn't you end it?
I was lonely, I guess.
So you kept on with the affair even after your wife knew about it?
And that was what the plot was about last night.
Yeah.
An extramarital affair. That's what this is all about.
Well, yeah, it's pretty pathetic, but it's no secret now.
Well, now that it's out in the open, maybe the kid will show himself.
How's he gonna know?
We'll probably have more luck at the chemist. I mean, he's going to need some medication soon.
Checked out the last 10 numbers dialed on the Burgess's phone. There's only one number that can't be explained.
Well, you sure it was made last night?
Yeah.
Ned and Lorraine didn't make it?
No. They can verify the numbers around it in the rough time, so it was definitely last night. It's to a place in Fraser Street. At least we know Dean's still alive.
Makes me sick, you know. Ned and Lorraine knew what they were doing to Dean and they let it go on.
Yeah, well, things should get better from now on anyway.
Casey! Brett!
It's all right, guys, don't run. We're just looking for Dean Burgess and thought you might be able to help. Come on.
What's going on?
Oh, the owner of the house rents it to me cheaply in exchange for doing the place up.
That's where Brett and Casey come in.
Yeah.
You have legal guardianship of the kids.
No, you know I don't.
Oh, did you encourage them to move away from home?
No. Look, I just figured it was better than having the crap beaten out of them every night.
Did you do the same for Dean?
We know he rang you last night.
Yeah? Yeah, he told me how bad things were, and all I said to him was that no matter what he decided, he was always welcome.
Did he show up at all?
Yes. Yeah, look, I just put the best interests of my clients first,
listen,
unlike
Tim,
you people.
Listen, hang on. There's no evidence that Ned Burgess beats him at all.
Oh, well, that's where I'm lucky, isn't it? Eh? I mean, I can just say bugger the evidence and just be on the side of the kid.
Where's Dean now?
I don't know. All right, he left this morning. Now, I haven't seen him
Well,
since.
we have. We caught him setting fire to a house. He dropped his asthma medication.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you know, he can die without that. We've got to find him. You've got to find him.
What, all of a sudden we're on the same side? What's going on?
Dean gave us his PIN number and asked us to get some money for him. He needs clothes and stuff.
He was waiting around the corner when you sprung us. Okay, and did you see him again after that?
No.
So you've got no idea where he might be now? All right, we're going to leave you with Miss Needham, and she's going to try and sort out some living arrangements for you.
We're going back to Fraser Street?
No, you can't do that, Casey. The law says you have to have adult supervision.
Well, Tim does that. He comes over every night after school.
That's not enough. You need a legal guardian.
There's nowhere else to look, boss. No bookings in Dean's name or Tim's. We could knock on every door.
No, better to put that Fraser Street house under surveillance. Dean's been there. I'll get on to St David's and see if they've got a unit available.
Sheila's still not back yet.
No.
No, it's on the
How are
station
the
back on
kids?
Main Channel.
Oh, they're like they're going off to the gallows.
Wish we never found Fraser Street. We've stuffed up their lives for them.
I like to think we're improving them.
I know, we have to apply the law. Since when does that improve anything for kids like them?
Most of the time. And if you don't know that, then you're in the wrong job. Miss Needham, have you found somewhere for Casey and Brett?
Yes, they're going home.
What are you people doing? I can't sanction this.
You referred the case to Human Services. It's nothing to do with you. You have to trust our judgment.
Have you read their file?
And there's nothing to incriminate their stepfather.
Speak to Tim Ryan.
They're not his clients anymore.
Well, have you met the moron husband and the idiot mother?
Constable.
I'm sorry, that's what they are.
Yes, I've just come from spending 2 hours with them.
And you want to send those kids back there?
Stuart, a little bit of civility, please. Now, as you can see, we're all very uncomfortable with this, Miss
I
Needham.
understand that. But the mother wants them home.
She says that because she doesn't want to lose the welfare payments. The stepfather abuses them.
They seemed very sincere to me. If it's at all possible, the department prefers to place the children back with the family.
Or even when there's an element of danger?
I didn't find that to be the case.
Well, surely their history would
I'm
suggest there
sorry,
is an
I've
element.
made my decision. It's out of your hands.
We can't let this happen.
No, we can't.
Mr. Scott Collins. This is an intervention order. It prohibits you from intimidating, molesting, or assaulting Casey and Brett Sharp.
Bloody hell.
You should also know that if you fail to adhere to the rules set out in that intervention order, you'll be arrested and charged.
Possibly jailed. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Scott?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'll be a good little boy.
You better be. Thanks for that.
What the bloody hell do you people think you're doing?
Keep
eh?
your voice down, Mr. Ryan.
Oh, it's true, is it? You sent Brett and Casey back to that hellhole.
Human Services have chosen that course of action. It's our job to enforce it.
Yeah, well, that's great, isn't it? They don't even want those kids. All they're worried about is keeping themselves out of trouble.
I understand your frustration, but you haven't exactly helped matters, have you?
Oh, yeah, well, that's your opinion.
Yes, it is.
Listen, Senior Sergeant, let me tell you something for nothing, eh? Unless you do something about getting those kids out of there, I will.
Then you'll be breaking the law and we'll have to charge you.
Oh, yeah? Suit yourself.
We've done everything we can by serving an intervention order against Mr. Collins.
Oh, come on, that's not going to make a bit of difference to this bloke, is it? I mean, what's that, a bit of paper? That's like red rag to a bull. You've put him on notice, and as far as he's concerned, it's all Brett and Casey's fault. Now, congratulations, Senior Sergeant. You just signed those kids' death warrants.
Well, I tried at your place, but I took a risk, thought you'd be here.
Well, it's paid off, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Come in, Tish. Bit of an unexpected surprise. You have to excuse the mess a bit. My kids used to keep it neat as a pin. Well, I'm just trying to sort through their stuff, work out what to do with the joint. You want a drink or something?
No.
Oh, no, you don't drink. Take a seat.
I just wanted to see how you were after this afternoon.
Yeah, I got a bit riled up, didn't I?
With good reason.
Well, here's to rebels, eh?
Yeah. Look, I really admire the way you put yourself on the line.
Oh, well, that's me, Dash. Admired by all and yet loved by no one.
Oh,
Sorry.
And I really did want to help Brett and Casey. And Dean.
So what are you going to do about it? I mean, you're going to bend the system a bit? Maybe work outside it? All kids are worth saving, Dash.
I'll drink champagne and wear a satin rose till you're back in my arms.
Another beautiful Central Victorian morning, and it's time for Community Notice Board on 3SD. Happy birthday to Leanne from the girls at St David's News Agency. And Dean, message from your mum and dad, mate. The secret's out.
Well, let's hope that does it.
We've got to do something about Brett and Casey.
We've done everything we can. Let's just concentrate on one kid at a time. Dean Burgess has to be our priority at the moment. Anybody got any news on the Ventolin yet?
Yeah, he hasn't picked any up yet.
Well, I was sure we would go back to the safe house last night.
Well, so was Timmy. Waited there all night for him, but surveillance reported there was no sign of Dean, just one female visitor.
Well, maybe Tim spirited Dean away.
At least he'd be doing something positive.
Well, so you're a convert to the Ryan method now, are you, Dash?
It makes sense.
Not if it breaks the law and endangers lives. I think we should have another word to Mr. Ryan.
I'll go.
Doyle, you go too.
I've actually got a meeting with my bosses in about half an hour.
Are you in trouble?
Yeah, probably. I don't think they appreciate my creative approach to social work.
Look, Dean's parents are really worried. He's been missing a long time.
Wait on. Do you just believe that affair crap? I mean, you think that's all there is?
I think you're seeing things that aren't actually there. Look, Ned and Lorraine...
Oh, no. Ned and Lorraine are fine, upstanding citizens, sure. Except Dean wakes up every night to the sound of his bedroom door squeaking open. And it's his old man going in there to bash the crap out of him just for fun.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. We had a long chat about it last night.
So he was here.
Yeah. He actually just snuck in the back way after he'd left.
Is he all right?
Yeah, he's fine.
Where is he?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
Tim,
I'm sorry.
you have to.
Why? Hey? Why? You'd have to obey the law, wouldn't you? You'd send him home so that he's going to get abused again.
I don't think that's what's happening.
Yeah, but you can't take that chance. I mean, Dash, you're supposed to be the good guy, right? Now, can you get those sharp kids out of where they are? So you want another one on your conscience?
No.
Well, then I'll just do you a favour. Not tell you where he is.
Just give me 5 minutes alone with him, you said. You're on duty. It's not like I planned it, Maggie.
Yeah, well, you're in uniform, and if the boss saw you, to have your
Yeah, I
guts.
said I was sorry.
Did he tell you anything?
Not where Dean is, and what will we do about it anyway? We'd send him home just like Brett and Casey.
Yeah, look, Dash, there is no evidence.
Yeah, and that is all we care about in this job, is finding evidence and facts.
Because that is how we protect
You'll give us
people.
those
You know that
details,
it's...
please? Okay, we'll be out.
What's going on here?
Oh, just making a couple. Would you like another one?
No,
Sorry,
thank
boss.
you.
There's a Barney in progress at the Sharps place. Dash, shall we?
No, Maggie, he's going to come in the living room. He's going to kill them.
Crazy! Keep alive! Get the gun on rack!
What do you think you're doing?
Let him go! Don't struggle, mate! Out! Get out! Enough of you. See?
Okay, get up. Come on. Up, up. All right. So, Mr. Collins, do you want to give us your version of what occurred?
Wouldn't make much difference if I did, would it?
Oh, it might if the attack was provoked.
Oh, I did not. Those kids have been giving me grief since I moved in, little bludgers. And then that poofter Ryan turns up, says he's going to take them, pushes me out of the way.
Are you saying that Mr. Ryan attacked you now, are you?
I'd like to see him try. He came in there, tried to take my kid away.
All right.
Said he'd take Declan
Hey,
if I
sit
didn't
down.
put the
Just
others
take it
away.
easy, all
What
right?
would you have done,
Just
mate?
sit down. Now, you're going to be charged with intentionally causing injury, an unlawful assault on Casey and Brett Sharp, and also Tim Ryan, and assaulting police and resisting arrest. Do you have anything to say in answer to these charges?
Ms. Needham, is this all their stuff?
It's what their mother gave me.
She never loved us.
Oh, Casey, I don't think that's true. She did call us when Scott lost his temper.
Do we have to go back there?
No, never again.
It's gonna be weird, you know, having someone there all the time telling us what to do.
We should be going. Your new foster parents are expecting us for lunch. It was lucky they were able to take the kids at such short notice.
Can we say goodbye to Tim first?
Well, unfortunately, he's not able to see you guys for a while. But once you settle in, maybe you can give him a call. Yeah.
Can you tell him I said I hope he gets some oil for that door?
Yeah. Casey, can I have a word with you? We'll catch up in a tick. What did you mean by that?
What?
The oil on the door stuff.
It's just a dream Tim has. When we first met him, we all talked about our bad dreams.
And his was about a door.
Yeah, the door squeaks really loudly, and he wakes up in a sweat.
Did he tell you why?
I don't know if I should tell you.
Look, I want to be Tim's friend. And now that you've gone, he'll probably need one.
He was bashed up when he was a kid. He'd hear his father coming towards the room, the door would squeak open, and he'd beat him up. He was just like us.
Jack, is Tim Ryan still here?
Yeah, he's in the interview room. What's up?
He knows where Dean is. The doors in the Burgess house don't squeak.
What?
It's your story.
What is?
Everything that you said happened to Dean. It happened to you.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Dean has never accused his dad, has he?
No, he didn't have to.
You just assumed it was going on because his situation seemed so much like yours.
No, see, this is typical, isn't it? This is just coppers looking for a scapegoat.
Just the truth.
Tim, you realise you'll be facing charges of child stealing and hindering a police investigation. You can make it easier on everyone if you tell us about Dean.
His parents love him. They're not perfect. But they're not yours. And it is not fair to make Dean live your life. Please just tell us where he is.
Boss, we've got Dean Burgess here at the caravan park.
All right, you and Dora go and pick him up. Not you, Mr. Ryan.
I just want to help.
I think you've done quite enough.
Shall I call the Burgesses and let them know?
Yes, all right, thanks, McKinley.
Look, Tom, I realise what you must think of me.
I seriously doubt that.
Timothy, heard about your latest antics. Well, you've effectively ended your career in the department.
No, I've already decided to quit. I couldn't live with myself if I ended up like you.
Oh, very noble. You could have got those children killed.
Me? I didn't send them back there, you did.
Oh, anarchy and social work don't mix,
Oh,
Mr. Ryan.
really?
Yes, really.
Well, maybe I did make a mistake. But I took Dean out of there to save his life. You nearly cost 2 kids theirs. I'm not responsible for Brett and Casey.
Maybe if you had gone through the right channels in the first place, Tim, it wouldn't have happened.
What are you on about? What are you, one of them?
No, there is no us and them.
Dean? Dean Burgess?
Oh, he's down. He's collapsed. He's got to get his head on.
Maggie, it's all right. Come on.
Oh, okay.
You all right?
Let's get him out.
Come on, mate.
Dean?
All right?
All right, here's clothing. You got a radio?
Yep.
Okay, how are we going?
Yeah, he's got a pulse. Mount Thomas 208 to VKC.
Dean? Can you
We need
hear
an
me?
ambulance
Okay.
immediately.
If you didn't find him when you did, well, we owe you a lot.
It was a much closer call than it needed to be.
It's not Tim's fault. He didn't know it'd chuck a turn. Anyway, he had to save his job.
I don't think he succeeded.
That's not fair. I'll let him believe that stuff about Dad.
I think he wanted to believe it.
Sorry, Dad.
At what stage did you know the truth?
When I went to speak to Tim this morning, he told me he knew where Dean was.
Did he tell you where exactly?
No. And I didn't insist.
Why?
Because he told me facts about Dean's father, and I thought that if we sent him home, he'd be in danger.
Obviously they weren't facts.
Yes, they were, but they were facts about Tim's father.
I'm surprised you fell for it considering the lack of evidence.
At the time, I lost faith in the way that we did things.
And in so doing, the situation nearly fell apart.
Yes.
Look, working outside the system seems brave, but it rarely is. It's much more courageous to fight the good fight from within where everyone can benefit.
I know that now.
I will be filing a report, but I'll also recommend that it be overlooked. Look, if you ever grow up and accept your responsibilities in the job, you'll be very good at it.
Right, you girls come to the pub, I'll shout the first round.
Oh, that'll be a change.
See you down there.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Thank you for not dropping me in. Did he come down hard on you? Not as hard as he should, I guess. And Tim? It's over before it started, really. I'm sorry. I'll live.